So, what's up, YouTube, and welcome to the basement.
This basement.
Today, here we are with our first place at local tournament, Katarina, who played Lyrilusc deck or birdup deck.
No, it's not birdup.
Whatever. Will you tell us about your deck?
Sure, so thank you everyone for tuning in and thank you all for coming to our locals today.
It was very hard
Yes,
locals.
Before we start, I have to say that my matchups weren't quite easy. I played against Invoked Eldritch, Golden Lord.
Shadow Invoked Eldritch?
No, Invoked. First was Invoked with Golden Boy Eldritch, however you say it. And the second one was against Invoked again plus Shadow. And for my final matchup, I had Layer of Darkness.
Anti-meta layer.
Yes, which we had 1,000 deck profiles on our page. So finally, it's my time to shine, and it's been like 3 years until I got my first place.
So Silvio played Invoked Shadow Golden Lord or just Invoked Golden Lord?
No, it was Invoked Golden Lord.
Without Shadow?
Without Shadow, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so without further ado, I would like to show you my first place deck.
Okay, that will be nice.
I played, like my better half said, I played Lyrilusc deck. This is one of my favorite decks. I even played it without a new support, like 1 year ago, and they're pretty much 3 special monsters. So we first have 3 of this Wobbler, and this one is basically special summoning itself if you have no monsters on the field, and if you special summon him, you get a free special from your hand or graveyard, but it's not even target. So it's basically great if nobody Veilers him, or negates him. You can get a free XYZ monster, right?
Yes.
So the next one is...
That's correct.
Okay, we have here Cobalt Sparrow. So what she does is when she gets special summoned, you can search any winged beast level 1 monster from your deck to your hand.
Even Diddy Crow or something like that?
Yes, even Diddy Crow, which is like great to have in hand, depending on what you play against. And when she's used as XYZ material for a wind XYZ monster, that monster cannot be targeted, which is again great for against Dogmatica Punishment, for impermanence, for I think Effect Veiler also targets,
yes.
Right? So yeah, you get a free, like, unaffected by targets monster. Then we play 2 of Swallow. I played it before on 3, but before it got a new support. She can special summon herself and another level 1 winged beast monster. So basically, if you have that Diddy Crow that you can't play, you can special summon that Diddy Crow. Of course, you want to special summon Lyrilusc monsters, but if it's your only play, it's also good. That's why you play Diddy Crow. We'll get to that later. And when she's used as XYZ material for a wind XYZ monster, you can attach one Lyrilusc from your graveyard to that XYZ monster. It becomes that effect. And the next 3 are the new Canaries. These are basically God-given cards. You get to special summon her and another Lyrilusc monster from your graveyard. It locks you on XYZ, but you basically do the whole play, and then you play her after, if you do the Tri-Brigade engine. When she's used...
You can do the Tri-Brigade and then you can go
Yes, you can go Link, you can go whatever you want, you can go Synchro, whatever you're mixing, I don't know. what she does is she doesn't let the opponent mind control your monster if it's used as XYZ material, and you get 200 boost. But if you, for example, have 3 of those on the field, you have 3 of those on the field, and you make XYZ Lyrilusc, because it says however much you want. It says 2+ monsters. And that monster is gonna get boosted by 600 because it's the material effect, and it's not Harvard's per turn. And if you know what I mean,
Like every other lyric monster.
Yes. Yeah. Those are all hard ones per turn, but their material effects are not.
Yes.
Then we have Celestial Blacktail. I played 2. I would maybe play 3, but I don't think that it's like...
Yes, please.
I don't think that it's necessary because...
Please.
Okay, I know you want to sell me the 3rd one. Okay, so she searches for Lyrilusc spell traps. I don't have the new one, I don't know how it's called. It's the negate, something similar to...
negate the board.
Yes, board negation. She's quite great, and she attaches. The best combo I know with her is when I do, for example, you have a XYZ Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard, and you have this one. You special summon him from hand, and then you special summon the XYZ monster. And then after you do that, you can attach again this card from the graveyard to get another search, or maybe if your Robin is sent to the graveyard and you have no more left in your extra deck, you can still reuse that monster from the graveyard.
Yes.
Then we have something similar to a Lyrilusc monster. It's also a new monster, and I quite fancy that monster because it's first off level 1 wing beast monster, and you can special summon him if you have two of the same level monsters on the field. You can play it anywhere, but of course in this deck it's especially good because you can do XYZ summon and so on.
And it's wind attribute and the type.
Yeah, basically it's perfect for the deck. And if you have your whole board and if your resources are at full, you can always tribute summon. You can always tribute this card to draw 2 cards in the next draw phase, which is also very useful. It's basically a pot of greed, a little pot of greed. Then we have, I play 1 Kinkabyo. I play 1 because 2 would be brick if I drew two in my hand. I want to see Lyrilusc as much as possible, and you can basically do the combo with him with the Tri-Brigade, where you foolish 1 monster with Fractal. And then you can special summon that level 1 monster to your field, and then you again have another XYZ monster, and basically this deck is all about spam. Then we have 1 DD Crow. I would maybe play more, but it depends on what deck you play against. Sometimes it doesn't even bother some decks. But if someone plays Gizmek, Orochi, or Shadow, also targets some card, and you want to make your opponent miss the target, so it's also good. So depending on what you play against, this one is good on 1 or maybe 2, 3 in your side. Then we have this package. I know what some of you might say. Yes, fractals should be on 3. I don't know, like you should play kit, you should play the traps. But in my version, there is really no need for that. I want to spam as much I can. I want to go on the Lyrilusc board instead of the Tri-Brigade board. And I don't know, I would find them quite brick if I would have more Tri-Brigade monsters in my hand that I want to. Those are basically monsters you don't want to see in your hand. You want to throw this one into the grave. For example, normal summon, you make the link, you make the link again, and you search for him, and then he does the foolish. That's my build.
And you played
Keras. But I threw him out
in the first
in my
version
first
of the deck.
Yeah. But I threw him out because I drew him too much, and sometimes I don't want to throw my Lyrilusc monster into the grave. I want to special summon them, and then I don't have enough resources to actually use him, and that's why he's out of my deck. Then we have one that everybody knows. It's basically your greatest nightmare, because it won't let your opponent special summon anything but wind monsters. So your opponent has to normal summon a monster that is 1000 attack or above to get rid of him, or kaiju him or something, I don't know.
Kaiju with wind kaiju.
Yes, with wind kaiju. That's like the only out, and basically you have to get rid of him somehow. But also how I protect him usually is to do Simorgh link, so he cannot be targeted, and you do the boosts with their XYZ monsters.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard if your opponent doesn't have a monster that he can normal summon with 2000 attack. It's basically unbreakable. And for last we have two cantrips. Here are two effect failures. You can search them in this deck with Wear of Toe or Jack in the Hand. Of course, you don't want to do Jack in the Hand with them, because your opponent's gonna probably choose to add those to the hand. But yeah, Wear of Toe is good. And if you throw them into the graveyard and you have King Yugioh, you can also special summon them because they're level 1 monsters.
It's kinda better than Ash or something.
Yes, it's
level 3.
Those cantrips are played because they have a synergy. I usually don't play Ash or Ghost Ogre or anything if it doesn't have anything to do with the deck. For example, Ash would go great into a synchro deck or a zombie deck or something else. That's why I play Effect Failure in this deck, because it has that synergy. And so we go to the spell cards. We have so far 2 bird calls. This card is, well, no wonder Lyrilusc is, well, tier 0, tier 1 and meta deck all along, because this card, not only does it search for a Lyrilusc monster, you can also special summon one Lyrilusc monster from your hand, but it has to be a different name from the searched one. Or you can throw the search into the grave, doesn't matter. What I like to do with that is to get a wobbler in my hand, and then with that I search for this one and you get another extend. Because you get then special this, when this gets special summon from your hand, you get another special summon, and so on. Just to get you an idea on how it works. Then we have one little Sanctuary. I don't think we need more of them, because it's searchable. If you draw it, you want to draw one. But it's a great one against Mystic Mine, for example. You can attach, if you have, for example, 2 XYZ monsters, you can always attach the other XYZ monster to the other one, and then you're left with one XYZ monster with a lot of materials. And also it draws one card if you have 3 or more XYZ materials on one XYZ monster. And then we have those searches. So we have Wear of Toe and 1 Jack in the Hand. I know I should play probably more, but I don't feel like it. I just feel like I need more monsters in my hand, and with this balance I rarely even brick. So I think that it's okay. And you can always search also King yugioh, so you don't lose that 2000 life points if you want to normal summon him later.
Or you can search some
Or
cantrip
cantrips,
like
yeah.
DD Crow or Effect Veiler.
Yeah, you can search for the Effect Veiler. Depends on what you need, really. That's how you do it. You do reject in the hand what you need, but of course you're gonna want that your opponent doesn't have anything positive about those searches. Basically unusable cards. But your combo cards, if you know what I mean. Then we have 1 for 1, of course, that's a must play because
Best card for this deck.
Yes, 1 for 1 best targets are, of course, again, this one and Wobbler, because they get their effects triggered on special summon. And you can search anything you want, but those special summon anything you want, but those are your best targets for 1 for 1. And there's even 2 for them. I mean, I play 1 for 1 if I have only 1 target and not like a whole deck. Then we have Swallow's Nest. This is a very good card because let's say your opponent wants to target your Wobbler that wants to special summon from hand or graveyard.
With Imper or
Effect Veiler, doesn't matter. And basically what this does, this is a quick effect card, you can dodge it. You special summon another one with the same Wing Beast with same level, yeah,
from the
deck, and your Wobbler is gonna get the effect, and you're gonna get an extra monster that's gonna trigger, for example, again Swallow or anything you really want. Then we have 3 Wing Rectals. So those are new cards, and basically, like, who made this card? Why does it even exist? You need 2. You get 20 of these during your game. You need 2 Wing Beast monsters to draw 2 cards. The only cost you have to pay is 600 life points. That's basically free. You're always gonna have at least 2. Yeah, also con. You can't have anything but Wing Beast monsters on your field. So that's the con.
But
it's
in this deck you only have a Wing Beast.
Yes. If you play again Tri-Brigade, you have to get rid of it. But in the end, I guess that Tri-Brigade players end up with Shuraig the Omen, who is a link for Wing Beast, so it's kind of fine.
So don't play with Tri-Brigade.
Don't.
It's stupid.
I'm doing a budget. A budget. Monster Reborn, of course, again, you have those targets, you have everything. You can Monster Reborn your opponent's monster and, I don't know, like special summon Lily to then search for your impermanences.
Like in finals today.
Yes, I wanted, yeah, I succeeded, but you destroyed it in the end, if I remember correctly.
No, I played Metaverse and put Mystic Mine from the deck on the field.
I think it was like, no, it was later on. I had Lily and you... she couldn't. Yeah, you know, you negated her. I destroyed because I had the Twin Twisters the next turn, and then I searched for impermanence, and you destroyed it the same turn I searched it. But okay, you don't remember. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that. It was later in the game. It doesn't matter anymore.
But when you activate Monster Reborn, I chained.
Yes, I waited for that.
Metaverse to play mine from the deck.
Yes, and then again you veilered her and so on, and I
maybe
had to wait
later in the game.
Yes, later in the game. Doesn't matter. Okay. Then we have XYZ Gift, which is rarely played in those decks.
One more Poto Grid in this deck.
Yes, and what's the funny part about this card is that you can combine. So you have 2-3 XYZ monsters, and you can combine on which to detach to draw 2 cards. So, I mean, you have that always. You have Wobbler, you can always attach her, then detach her for the XYZ gift, doesn't matter. You have those materials, you can use it, and you have to use this card if you want to draw. You don't need extravagance or those. Those are for noobs. Then we have 1 Dark Roll no more in case your opponent plays something like Winda or anything that you can't really control. Any negation or something you can. You need clean slate to work on. How would I say it? Like, so your opponent doesn't respond, basically. Then we have 1 Call by the Grave. You don't want to see those Aliesters. You don't want to see anything. You don't want to see that Ash. You're pretty much lucky if you have this one in the hand. You do your whole combo and your opponent wants to shut you down. You have Call by the Grave. You banish the card and you're safe to play. You can do 40 summons, then nobody cares. Everybody falls asleep because it takes so long. Then we have Book of Moon. This is also a good out on basically every single matchup.
Winda.
You don't want to see that. You can flip her later if you want to do some damage, but you will have your whole board after that, so it doesn't matter. Then we have 2 Forbidden Chalice, my best friend. You can boost your monster, you can boost your opponent's monster. Basically, it's a negate card, but if you need that extra 400 boost, it's pretty much
same like Book of Moon.
Yeah. But yeah, if you need that extra 400 damage for the win, go for it. It's activatable in the Bella phase. Then we have 2 Impermanents. You can play them from your hand. You know that already. Well, because the deck has very few shutdowns, you need to stop your opponent at doing boards that would damage your board. And then we have Harpy Feather Storm and Harpy Feather Duster. If this card is destroyed, you can search this, and if you activate this and you have Beast monsters, your opponent cannot activate anything, no hand traps, no graveyard, no field. So you basically shut them down for 1 turn. Oh, this is tiresome. How do you do this all the time? Like, seriously. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Here is 1 instant fusion you need for this beauty. So we're going to extra deck monsters now. And this is my MVP for today against Lair. This card is unaffected. This card burns. This card is boosted. Well, it has 1 level, so it's boosted by $500.
And this card won the finals.
Yes, so basically you wanted that instant fusion. You want to return her like 3 times to burn your opponent more than you paid cost for this one. And it's a really good card. You can recycle her however you want. Nobody can Nibiru her. I don't know why you guys don't play it. Start playing her. Because it's a really quality monster. It's the best instant fusion target you can get. Then I play because I like to search a lot and I don't like to be under-resourced. I play 3 of those Restal Starlings. If you don't know what it says, you can XYZ summon her by using 2+ level 1 monsters. And
they don't need to be Lyrilusc monsters.
They can be anything. They can be DD Crow if you want.
Kinkabio.
It's basically whatever you want. What it does when it's 6/6 summoned, you can boost 1 card depending on how much materials this card has by 300 attack. What I usually like to do is boost my opponent's monsters so I deal the OTK damage, even though sometimes it's not good to activate this effect. Yeah, I learned it today.
Because of Ghost Ogre?
Basically, if you know your opponent is playing Ghost Ogre, you don't want to activate the first effect because your opponent is going to destroy it. At least go for the surge. I'm telling this to myself in the future. Okay, so what this does after it does its boost, or it doesn't, preferably does, because your opponents don't play usually this card. You can detach one card from this, one expensive material from this card, and you can search for one level 1 wing beast monster. That can be a DD Crow, that can be whatever you want. That's basically a combo extender, and any battle damage you should take, your opponent also takes. You can get draws with this card, you can basically win it if you play this one's effect. I'm gonna get to it now. If you don't want any battle damage, but you want your opponent to take any battle damage, you activate her effect and you take no battle damage until the end turn, and your your Lyrilusc monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. So to get in detail with this card, it also expensive summons using 2 or more level 1 monsters. She can protect, she can attack directly, she can attack how much she has.
She protects, she attacks.
She attacks, she protects. However, she needs to have a lot of expensive materials to deal that final blow, because she gets 200 per material. That's why I played Lyrilusc in the past with a lot of equips, but today it's unnecessary. You basically can get her now to 1200 minimum and deal those direct damages. Then we have, I don't know if I need to talk about this card, because everybody knows that card. Every time your opponent tries to special summon a monster, you can detach one material from this card, and you return it back to the hand or extra deck if it's an extra deck monster. This card is not normal, and you get...
it's not a hard once per turn.
It's not hard once per turn, and it shouldn't exist. So it gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. If your opponent kaijus or tributes this card, or destroys it, or anything else, basically she just needs to go to the graveyard to take one Lyrilusc monster from your graveyard to your hand. So you recycle your resources if you lose that monster.
This is a third effect.
Fourth or something. Too many effects. Then we have one permanent trash. I don't know why people don't play it. It's always good to have it in your extra deck. You never know when your opponent plays the back row cards, and you want to try and shuffle or make your opponent use that card. And basically she also gets 500 boost for each material attached to it. And you can, in your battle phase, during the damage step, you can detach any amount of materials she has, and you boost that attacking monster, so it can be basically anything, to gain 300 attack for each material detached. It can be Simorgh, it can be anything, it doesn't have to be Lyrilusc. So it's basically a card to replace those equips I played before, if you need that OTK. Then we have, well, you all know the Tri-Brigade stuff. I have one favorite Blossom. I play one, I will play one, I will never play more. You do Nerval or something, he link summons with two Beast, Wing Beast, Beast Warrior monsters, and you get a free monster. You do special summon, you do again Lyrilusc combo with special summon, or if you have one monster in your hand.
Okay, I think we don't need to talk more about Tri-Brigade stuff, because people know well.
Yeah, you know a lot, like, yeah, then you can unbrick and so on, it's kind of boring. Then you have Simorgh. Basically your target is Sculpture. I don't play Apex because he can be brick, I wanna do as much normal or special summons as I can, and that's why I don't need those extra negations. I have everything I need. Well, you also know what he does. He protects from target, and during each end phase you can special summon one wing beast, depending on free spell trap zones. Doesn't matter. And you can protect him with little Simorgh, but it doesn't matter. Then we have this one. I played that card the least. You may play it the most, but it's basically compulsory with a cost. But I don't like him a lot. I think that some of the Tri-Brigades are more quality. For example, the Link 4, better than this card. Even though he can be quite annoying. Yes, he can. Then we have Harvest something, the Doom Eagle. Let's call him Doom Eagle. When your opponent has no monsters in their graveyard, he gets double attack, so he gets 4,800, and you can banish one card from their graveyard, and so on. You get that ODK.
Not a banish, but he shuffle to the deck.
I'm sorry, you shuffle it to the deck. I don't know what's in my mind. Then we have. Okay, so this one is basically full on luck card. What I do with this card is you do those searches, you do those XYZ summons and everything, and you search your whole deck, and you have basically little to no monsters left in your deck. Then you play her, and when she mills, there is like 70% chance you will get that spell trap in your hand. It can be permanence, it can be instant fusion, it can be another combo extender, doesn't matter. But that's why I play her. I mean, she's great. She deserves a place here. Then we have Harpy Conductor. I never did this combo, but what you can do is you play. I'm not gonna explain more, but you play this from hand. If you have this in your hand and you wanna surprise your opponent, you link summon her, and you have a free Harpy Featherstorm whenever you want. Harpy Featherstorm becomes a hand trap, so yeah, it's great. And for the last, I would play Tri-Brigade Omnio Summon the Link 4, but Kiki Nagashi Fuko is also good if your market order didn't arrive. He's unaffected by card effects, so...
Or if someone plays Lair or something like that.
Yeah, if someone plays Lair, if someone plays something that would affect this, if... I don't know, like, I don't think Nibiru can get through this.
No, it
can.
Yeah.
So basically you're safe with him. If your opponent tries to Nibiru a whole board, you play this at last, and
you're safe.
You at least have one monster. That's positive. So, if you know your opponent's sided, and yeah.
So let's see the side deck.
Yes, so my side deck might not be to your taste.
I think we don't need to talk about every side card, just...
Yeah, basically we know what those do.
Yes.
So, we have Lyrilusc, this feather something card, which I played once. That card is good against Synchro, so XYZ decks. It's good to basically get your opponent's monsters to 0. So it can be a great side card but it's situational. You don't want to side it every time. And then we have one Book of Moon. So we had 2 Book of Moons in my main deck, and 1 extra Book of Moon for the extra annoying shadow players, or whatever you want. Then we have 1 more Dark Rule no more, so 1 is in deck, 1 is here. We don't need to talk about it. 1 Raigeki. So yeah, that doesn't need to. 1 Dark Hole, because you can protect your monsters from being destroyed by card effects, and your opponent's gonna basically get Raigeki. Yeah, I mean, Dark Hole is equal to Lyrilusc deck as much. Yeah, you get what I mean. Then we have one MST, then we have another spell trap removal because my local searched for it. And then we have 2 double twin twisters, that's also because of my locals. I hate Cosmic Cyclone, by the way, because 1000 life points can mean game. Then we have Mind Control, nobody expects that. You can link to Simorgh or anything you want, because Simorgh only searches for one wind monster and your opponent can play fire if they want. Then this kaiju should actually be the wind kaiju, but I have only this one. I hope that Poso is actually listening to this this deck profile, because he was like so confused when I told him, like, if I have a statue of Stormwinds on my field, I wanna have this one to shut my opponent extra down, like, so he doesn't summon anything. For example, what if someone plays a synchro monster, wind monster? Sometimes it can happen that the opponent can special summon a better monster, if you know what I mean. And you want to kaiju that, but you don't want to do this kaiju because you are also locked to wind. Yeah.
And it have better stats, so
Yes.
you can crush into it your Xyz.
Yes, of
Lyrilusc.
course. Yeah, you get that extra damage, and yeah. And this one, kaijus do nothing, so you're basically safe. You don't want anything else. Then we have one X-Phasing Import. I know my darling's gonna be like, why the heck are you playing this? But sometimes it can happen. You play first, you know you're gonna play first, you play this card. Your opponent has to normal summon lower monster, and you can basically attach that combo piece to your Lyrilusc monster that is boosted 1000 plus. Yeah, that's very, very situational. Or if your opponent plays monsters that have 200, 300, 400 attack and so on, then you can use this. And this one against Fusion Synchro, anything you don't want to see. And yeah, that's my whole main deck, extra deck, side deck. And I'm pretty much tired because
Can you tell us about your matchup today?
Yeah, of course. I had so the first one was against Silvio. Hello, Silvio. Thank you for coming today and everything. It was a really hard matchup, and you know how it is, like invoked Golden Lord. I mean, it's not something you should joke about, and I had to play over everything. Like I needed that extra resources. That's why my deck is 4. If I lose something during my try to combo, I need to have that extra thing to back me up. I can't remember what actually was something like honorable mentions, but overall my brain is like burning still from the locals. Then I had a match against Poso. Whatever. Dude, you should have won that matchup, because what he did is he had 2 monsters on the field, doesn't matter which one, and he just needed to normal summon Aliester. He didn't want to normal summon him because I played this card, and he wanted to like hold him as a reserve or something. I mean, I should have lost that game, but like whatever. It was like 600 life points away, like from this thing. And of course Marko. Yes, our matchup. Finals layer. The deck I hate the most. Because it's like here for how many months? It was winter last time you played layer, so it's been a year.
It's like a year.
It's basically a year, and I always wanted to win this game with this card. I just wanted to throw him this because, I mean, like, unaffected by layer. Come on, like, you have to win this match. We had some hard games. I can't remember if there was anything like to mention. It was like really intense. I play back row, you play back row, you play Lily, I play something, and it was like 3 games full of this, and then I surrender, and then IOTKU, then next game I'll win with extra life points, right? Like, it's kind of...
Yeah, you won third game on time with more LP.
Yeah, with every matchup I won two singles and lost one single. So 2-1 from 3. Yeah.
But it's still a win.
It's still a win. I mean, like, this is an accomplishment after all these years. Finally, a deck that can actually hold up to our locals. I mean, you people don't know, but here it is YCS all the time. Like,
yes.
Literally. We have Shallow players, we had Dogmatica players, we had everything. Like, literally everything. And it's no joke. Every time new players come, they're like, what? Like, I wanna Mirror Force. But it's not like that, you know. And they're like, oh, okay, you have all set Mirror Forces down. I'm not gonna attack. That's usually the new player mind. But nobody plays Mirror Force until I come. Or Drowning Mirror Force today by Caro.
Yes.
Oh god. Like, who plays Drowning Mirror Force? He plays Cyber. What did he play? Yes, he played Cyber Dragon deck with Drowning Mirror Shield. Come on. Like,
Mirror Force.
Drawing
Mirror Force.
That's the one you have to direct. Or wait, I'm kinda confused. Drowning Mirror Force is the one that shuffles, but you need to direct attack.
Yes.
Like, why the heck do you play that in a
Cyber Dragon?
Cyber Dragon. That's a card for anything that does direct damage, like Feather Painter, like if you have Octo Bypass or something, like, okay, you play Drowning, but this makes no sense to me.
Elemental Surprise.
I mean, yes, but like, Quaking would be more befitting, but like, okay.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it, and thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that I will be first again. So
maybe even tomorrow we have next locals again. This is not a
regular locals. Yeah. That's basically
bonus locals,
something like that. Like, it's a bonus
during the week.
Yes, we will.
So we will have 3 tournaments this week.
Yes, and it's gonna be hell of a brain meltdown.
This is the first one, so it's on Saturday, on Thursday.
Yes, so basically this is the first one from the 3-1, and 2 that are gonna be.
Okay, thank you for the watching, and stay safe.
We're gonna go sleep now because I can't anymore. And
stay safe and see ya, guys. Cheers, mag het?
Lyrilusc for the win.